Ever seen your cat slide between you and another feline like, "Excuse me, that's my human"? Yep, that's jealousy cat edition. It usually begins in a small, almost invisible moment. You're petting or talking to another cat, or maybe you've just welcomed a new feline into your home, and suddenly your own cat appears silent, alert, and staring. His ears tilt forward, his tail twitches with a sharp flick at the end, and his body places itself right between you and the newcomer as if drawn by instinct. To most people, it looks like simple behavior, but for your cat, this is the moment jealousy ignites. Cats are far more socially aware than they appear. They watch where your hands go, who receives your touch, and how long your eyes stay on someone else. The second they notice that attention drifting to another cat, a subtle psychological shift occurs. In their world, your affection is not just warmth, it is a resource, a status signal, and part of their personal environment. The idea that another cat might siphon even a small portion of that can trigger protective behavior. At this early stage, jealousy rarely looks dramatic. Instead, it unfolds through microsignals, blocking your hand as you pet the other cat, slipping onto your lap before anyone else can, vocalizing at unusual times, or tapping the rival cat with a paw. There may be staring, tail swishes, tense muscles, or even seemingly harmless activities like grooming themselves aggressively near you, classic displacement behavior when emotions run high. What's important is that your cat is not trying to be mean or possessive in a human sense. He is reacting to a perceived threat to his bond, his routine, and the social order he understands. This initial spark of jealousy sets the stage for the deeper emotional dynamics explored in the next chapters, where attention becomes territory, affection becomes a resource, and your presence becomes something worth defending. To understand why jealousy feels so intense for a cat, you have to understand one key truth. To him, your attention isn't just kindness, it's territory. Cats don't only defend physical spaces like doorways, beds, or sunny spots on the floor. They also defend relationships, routines, and the invisible lines of ownership we can't see. When you pet him, groom him, talk to him, or even let him sleep on your lap, you're entering a shared zone that your cat considers part of his domain. In feline social structure, scent is everything. When your cat rubs his face against you or wraps his tail around your leg, he's not being cute for no reason. He is placing his scent on you, the way he marks his favorite resting spots. From his perspective, you are now part of his mapped world. Your lap, your hands, your voice, these are not abstract concepts to him. They're extensions of a territory he has blended with his own identity. So when another cat steps into that invisible boundary and receives your touch, your attention, or even your warmth, your cat reads it as a disturbance. It isn't jealousy in the human sense of romance or ego. It's the anxiety of losing access to something that feels like it belongs to him. Your time and affection are resources that validate his place in the social order of the home, and their value increases through repetition. If your cat always gets the first pet when you walk through the door, or always claims your lap at night, that pattern becomes a kind of ownership ritual. This is why cats often slide between you and other cats, block access to your hands, or follow you around when competition enters the room. From their perspective, they're not misbehaving, they're maintaining boundaries. To them, attention is territory, and territory must be protected. In multi-cat situations, jealousy isn't just an emotional reaction, it's a strategy. To your cat, you are more than a source of affection. You are a resource that supports safety, warmth, routine, and identity. And in the feline world, resources are rarely shared without negotiation. This is where ranking comes into play. Even if there is no obvious fighting, cats establish subtle hierarchies based on access. Who gets to eat first? Who gets the window seat? Who gets groomed? And yes, who gets you? Your lap, your hands, your voice, and even your bed represent valuable social currency. They provide comfort, familiarity, and survival advantages. So when another cat approaches and claims these privileges, your cat interprets it as a direct challenge. If you pet the newcomer first, allow them into your bedroom at night, or let them curl into your lap, your original cat may instinctively try to reclaim what he sees as his established position. This competition doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it appears as silent standoffs, slow blinking with tension, or a sudden lick turning into a gentle nip. Other times it's more obvious swatting, chasing, or blocking doorways. In nature, these behaviors help cats secure food sources and safe resting areas. In the household, They help secure emotional and social access. Not all cats express this equally. Confident cats often assert their rank by calmly inserting themselves between you and the newcomer, while anxious or insecure cats may vocalize, hide, or act out when they feel displaced. But regardless of personality, the underlying psychology is the same. Your attention is a resource, and resources define social rank. When a new cat appears, your resident cat's protective behaviors aren't random. They're attempts to maintain their standing in the shared social ecosystem of the home. In his mind, losing position means losing access, and losing access feels like losing a part of himself. To truly grasp jealousy in cats, you have to view your relationship with your feline through their attachment lens. Your cat doesn't just coexist with you. Over time, he forms a bond built from patterns: feeding times, voice recognition, sleeping arrangements, grooming, and shared spaces. These patterns create emotional security, and that security becomes a claim, not ownership in the human sense, but a declaration of connection. This person is part of my world. Just like kittens follow their mother for warmth and safety, adult cats build similar attachments with the humans they trust most. When you talk to your cat, when he rubs his cheek against your arm, or when he kneads your lap before sleeping, he's reinforcing a link that releases calming chemicals. This soft bond isn't simply affection, it's a survival mechanism turned emotional ritual. And like all bonds that matter, it can provoke anxiety when threatened. So when another cat steps into your space, receives your praise, or climbs into your lap, your cat may feel the bond wobble. He doesn't fear the newcomer as a physical threat. He fears displacement in the emotional hierarchy. That's why jealousy often appears more intense in cats who are closely bonded to one person or who rely on that person for reassurance. Their behaviors, blocking, staring, vocalizing, or inserting themselves between you and the rival, are their version of saying, "Don't forget about me." This isn't dominance, it's vulnerability. Many jealous cats are not trying to control the situation, they're trying to stabilize it. They fear losing access to the one bond that makes them feel secure. When you recognize this bond as a claim of trust rather than possession, jealousy becomes more understandable. It reveals how deeply your cat sees you as part of his emotional territory, something worth guarding, and something he quietly worries about losing. When jealousy settles in, it doesn't always show as aggression. More often, it reveals itself through small, specific behaviors that communicate one clear message: don't take my place. The most common is blocking. You might notice your cat sliding between you and the other cat, standing directly in front of your hands, or jumping onto your lap the moment a rival appears. This isn't random, it's an intentional attempt to reclaim access and visibility. Another sign is disruption. If you're petting the new cat and your resident cat suddenly paws at you, meows loudly, or nudges your hand, he's not just seeking attention, he's interrupting the bond building he sees unfolding without him. Some cats will even groom themselves aggressively next to you, a stress behavior used to self-soothe in emotionally charged situations. Then there's staring, one of the most underestimated forms of feline communication. A jealous cat often locks eyes with the newcomer, holding a steady, unblinking gaze. It's not about intimidation in the human sense. It's a territorial warning. I see you, and I'm not backing down. If the rival cat looks away, shifts position, or walks off, that confirms the jealous cat's status. More active signs include swatting, chasing, or blocking doorways, especially when the rival cat tries to approach you. These bursts aren't about violence, they're about resource protection. On the quieter end of the spectrum, jealousy can show up as silent sulking. The jealous cat may retreat to corners, refuse treats, or avoid eye contact after seeing you interact with the newcomer. It's their way of expressing displacement without confrontation. Every one of these behaviors carries the same emotional root. Your cat believes your relationship is being challenged. Whether expressed through bold actions or quiet withdrawal, the message is identical: he fears being replaced, and he's doing whatever he can to hold onto his place in your world. At its core, feline jealousy isn't about dominance, cruelty, or spite, it's about vulnerability. When your cat reacts to another feline getting close to you, he isn't plotting or competing in a human way. He's responding to an emotional disruption inside his tiny social universe. Your routines, your scent, your lap, and your voice form a dependable system he relies on. When that system shifts, even slightly, his fear isn't, "I'm losing control," it's, "I'm losing connection." This is why jealousy is so revealing. It tells you your cat sees you as more than a provider or roommate. He sees you as a source of safety, warmth, stability, and identity. To a cat, these things are not just wants, they're needs. And needs are defended, especially when the bond is strong. So the chase, the stare-downs, the blocking, the sulking, these aren't signs of a bad personality. They're signs of attachment. Humans often misunderstand feline jealousy because it doesn't look like the dramatic displays we associate with the emotion. There are no loud arguments or slamming doors. Instead, it's in the subtle guarding of your space, the nervous grooming, the stiff tail, or the quiet refusal to join you after you've given attention elsewhere. Underneath all of it is a question your cat can't ask out loud. Am I still important to you? The truth is, jealousy is a compliment wrapped in insecurity. A jealous cat is a connected cat. He has chosen you as part of his emotional territory, and he fears losing that anchor. When you respond with patience, balancing attention, reinforcing routines, and giving reassurance, you don't just calm his jealousy, you deepen the bond itself. Because in the end, jealousy in cats isn't a proof of dominance, but a quiet confession of love. Like this video and subscribe, or your cat will stare at you with that jealous face again, you know the one.